So, Malia with Inner Perfect, and I do this energy update live on Instagram and Facebook every Wednesday, pretty much every Wednesday at 7 o'clock. So, welcome to you all who have joined. And every energy update is different. Sometimes we do a lot of astrology heavy discussions, sometimes just kind of channeled information like what needed to come through. And sometimes we do card pulls as well. We meaning I do the card pulls. You all are free to ask questions. And when we do energy updates, that's part of the fun of this being alive is that you all, the active participants in the live, can also ask questions or comment on kind of the vibes that you're picking up on, things that are kind of going on in your life. And then, of course, even ask like specific questions regarding your spiritual or your magical practice, just kind of as a Q&A forum too. So feel free to leave things in the comments and I will, as I see those come through and I kind of get to like a brief stopping point with whatever I'm saying, then I will be happy to answer your questions as well. All right. So, this has been an interesting week for me, and also what I have observed, just kind of with the general public. And we started our shopping bazaar at the store on yesterday, on Tuesday, and it has been a very quiet week. Usually, my opening day of the store is very busy. Wednesday is kind of a little slower because it's like the second day open, but it has just been very quiet this week. I mean, I have seen people. I appreciate everyone who's come in, but it's like, where are all the people? So just with some kind of one-on-one conversations that I've had with people, and then kind of what I've seen just kind of going on in my own personal life, um, there are kind of a lot of energetic shifts and changes happening right now where it feels like there are opportunities to make swift changes or to make changes in one's life. And I think that the energy that is being called for is being like inspired and swift, like not to sit on things, not to kind of like wonder, like, I don't really know, and there's all these things involved or whatever. I mean, yes, there's always things to consider, but I feel like if you are just kind of feeling stuck and unsure and not trusting yourself, that it's going to feel really it's going to be nerve-wracking instead of like freeing and inspiring, because these energies that are coming in, this energy that is coming in like pushing on you, there are awesome potentials and possibilities coming in. And so if you are kind of on the fence with something, if you're kind of wondering, like feeling like you should be leaving something behind, or you should be starting something different, or you should be standing up for yourself, or making a shift or a change that you've been kind of like brewing on for a little bit, but it's getting kind of like louder and louder. I feel like now is kind of the time to do that. And of course, you've got to trust your own intuition. You've got to trust, what really feels right to you. But if you're getting a strong push or a strong urge, and then what feels right is to do that, right? Or to say, I need to shift directions, or whatever it is, and then you don't do it because, it could be negative self-talk. It could be once bitten, twice shy, whatever it is. But if you hesitate, then I feel like it's almost like I'm missing out on the strong energy that is trying to come in, because like it almost feels like it's pushing up against us. It's like I'm right here, like you can just grab me as soon as I come in. But then if you hesitate and like it goes too long, or you kind of languish in that I don't know energy, right? Then that thing might kind of start to drift off a little bit. And this could be having to do with your work. It could be with relationships. It could just be like a personal decision that you're really feeling called to make, for yourself. I mean, there's all kinds of different aspects that, you could see this showing up in your life, but really, really trusting yourself and then not hesitating, okay, so much, I feel like it's going to serve you really, really well at this time. And you could make some very phenomenal changes, some very impactful, positive changes in your life, but you kind of got to go with that energy. It's like when we see the Wheel of Fortune card in tarot, and it is a fortuitous time to make those changes or to kind of like take advantage of the energies that are coming in. It doesn't mean that you necessarily have horrible luck or bad luck, at another time, but it's just like a really good time right now to, to jump on that. So, if you all are feeling those energies, I can completely empathize with you. Oh, I just started shuffling a deck and then I had a card jump out. I'm just gonna grab it. Hold on one second. Oh, that's the Chariot card. Great. Okay. So I'm gonna do some card pulls here in a little bit. But yeah, so some of you too, I feel like there's still this big energy, right? And it's kind of like seize the opportunity, okay? But I feel like there's kind of a group of the collective that are maybe just dealing with a sense of overwhelm, a sense of feeling like change is too big, or what if I fail, or what if this is the wrong choice, or the energies might just feel intense in general, and so you're just gonna like duck and cover. And if that is your strongest inclination, that is your strongest feeling, is that you just need to like kind of buckle down and go within and just kind of conserve or preserve your energy. I'm not saying that that's wrong. Sometimes that is the best course of action. But sometimes that non-action, let's just call it that, sometimes that is a choice. That is a decision to not take action on something, or just to be still or to wait. And only if that is the appropriate action or not, for you, the most right choice for you. But sometimes it is that being stuck in fear and that hesitation, and that maybe not really listening to your higher self, or not really trusting yourself, or your guides or the universe or whatever it is. And then that's when, we're like, okay, I'm just going to take the easy route and just not do anything, or just be stuck, because that feels more comfortable. Somehow that feels more comfortable than actually taking that leap of faith, or doing that thing that may be really scary but really exciting at the same time. So I would love for you to kind of just ponder for yourself, to think about maybe a different version of you. Okay, and I'm not saying a better version. I'm not saying a younger version necessarily, okay? But a different version of you. How you might respond, react, act, choose in this same situation if you weren't jaded, if you weren't stressed out beyond realization, comprehension, let's say, and think about how that kind of unhindered version of you may want to react. You just be even in a hypothetical, okay? And this could be the younger version of you, that when you were like, oh, there's all these potentials and possibilities, and like I could do anything, right? Or it could be a different version of you that if you're like, if I didn't have the stress of bills or these family things going on or like work stuff or whatever, like if I was just unburdened, I could feel more free to kind of be in my own energy and all of that. Or it could be even it could be a older or more experienced version of yourself, that if you had kind of gained the life experience of listening to your intuition, trying to align with your higher calling instead of like compromising all the time or doing for others to your detriment. Okay, so these are all kinds of like different potential versions of you, right? So, give yourself maybe a little bit of space. You could journal. You could uh, write. You could, I don't know, write something out in your computer. You can leave yourself a note, the little notes app, in your phone. You can do some kind of movement with your body. Anything that helps you maybe kind of express these different energies that you might like to just explore. And sometimes when oh, and let me just say, it could be like a heartfelt conversation with someone too, someone that you trust, someone who really gets you, someone who is supportive of really who you are, through all your different phases and life choices and all of that. But to give yourself that space to kind of just get a little peek into the potential or the possibility of, in a perfect world, okay, or if in a different situation, or this different version of me, how would I react? Sometimes that helps us tap into our true essence. And I'm not saying that it's like who you are right now or what you're going through right now or the burdens you have or the seasonal depression that you have or, whatever it is. That is you. That is your experience. That is your perspective right now. But I just really wonder how often we are making choices or not making decisions, or kind of navigating through our life based on really a false sense of who we really are. It's like what other people expect us to be, or what we think other people or situations expect us to be or to act like, versus what we really, really resonate with. And that's a lot of reallys. The amazing thing about stepping into your energy, stepping into authentically what is good and right and aligned for like your highest version of you, your higher calling, your higher vibrational timeline, whatever you want to say, however you want to say it. When you let yourself step into that energy, which is you, okay, it's just kind of like shedding the baggage and the shackles, that you've put on yourself or that you've accumulated, okay, then it always feels better. It always feels better. It feels right. And then things start clicking, things start aligning, things start showing up and manifesting. And it's like your energy speeds up. Time seems like it's speeding up, but in a good way, and it's like you're experiencing the fullness of life and all of these more aligned opportunities instead of that resistance, instead of that doubt, instead of that hesitation. Because when we have those feelings that we are cloaking ourselves, in, or we're embodying, where, or even if they're like teeming, below the surface, whatever it is, that energy is in our energy field. And so we attract other situations, people, interactions, whatever it is, that align with that hesitation, that align with that frustration, or that, that would inspire you to feel more self-doubt instead of self-confidence, or low energy instead of being in your power. And that is also an experience. It's not an invalid experience. It's not wrong. But if you want to experience something else, that is expansive and that is fun and that is exciting or inspiring or whatever it is, you have to let yourself feel excited about it. You have to let yourself step into it and just give it a go and see what happens. So it's like this phrase keeps coming up. I probably maybe used it in last energy update. I'm not sure. I know I used it in a conversation recently, but it is like choose your own adventure. It is okay. The story is unfolding right now, in front of my eyes, and you have to step into you have to step into what your next part of the adventure is. And if you're just waiting, if you don't turn the page, you don't pick a page to turn to see what the next parts are, then you are stuck, and then you are stagnant, and maybe you just reread the page. Maybe, in this analogy, it's like just kind of repeating patterns. And so it is if you want to continue on this exciting, immersive journey, that you have chosen to experience, you kind of have to step into it. And sometimes that's scary because you're like, I don't know where this is going. I don't know, what's on the path ahead of me, whatever it is. But it is essential to keep walking forward, and sometimes it is just one step at a time. And it does take some trust, which can be hard for people, but that is how you immerse yourself into your reality and how you become that active participant in your life. Life is happening regardless if you are participating or not, regardless if you are an active participant or like a bystander. It is still going on. And I myself, and I have been stuck. I'm not saying that I'm perfect. I am not saying anything like that. Um, but I know for myself is that I am choosing to say yes. I am choosing to align with opportunities and situations that make me feel elated, that make me feel excited, that make me feel like I am just in my juicy goodness. Like, why would I want to experience anything else? Why would you want to experience anything else? I mean, there are all kinds of experiences, and I'm not saying that one is really better than the other. Maybe I'm just at a fun point in my life, But if you're feeling pulled towards that, or like that kind of speaks to you just a little bit, you have to be a willing and active participant in your life. And hindsight, you'll look back and go, oh my gosh, why didn't I do this 5 years ago? Or why did I doubt myself, or whatever it is? So trust yourself. You know what you want, what you desire. And I feel like the energy around us right now is just ripe with at least trying, right?